Hello, my name is Hannah Reeves, and today I will be reporting on how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected education, but more specifically, the challenges public school teachers are experiencing during this time. First, I would like to discuss the amount of COVID cases there have been in Texas schools between students and teachers. As of September 24, 2020, the TEA published updated COVID-19 numbers for every school district in Texas. There were approximately 3,445 cumulative positive student cases of COVID and 2,850 cumulative positive staff cases. This means that moving school online is overall a safer and healthier option for students and teachers. But does online school benefit these students academically? This leads us to ask, how does a student successfully learn when there isn't face-to-face interaction between the student and teacher? Also, how do teachers know if they are successfully educating their students? To answer these, I interviewed Shannon Reeves, an 8th grade English teacher from Garland ISD. What were some of the things that teachers had to do to make the online transition easy for students?
In order to make the online transition easy for students in the spring, the very first thing we had to do was teach them how to use our Google Meet or Zoom sessions and teach them the expectations of virtual learning. Also, get them trained to log in on time and complete lessons even though they were not face-to-face with us.
Okay, Shannon, so how did your students adjust to that change?
Some of my students adjusted to the change very well and they did it rather quickly. Other students, I stopped hearing from them in the spring. I barely heard from them until the very end of the cycle, and then they were suddenly very concerned about their grades. Now, there were challenges with some of my students that didn't have the proper devices in order to complete the assignments, but we worked really hard to make sure that we passed out everything that we could get to them, such as Chromebooks and hotspots. So I also was dependent on whether the parents were, basically letting them just do it on their own or supporting them. So that was a huge factor.
And do you think your students are learning successfully through these circumstances?
I think that some of my face-to-face students are learning more successfully than my virtual students. Now, it can't all be put in one category because there are some virtual students that are actually thriving. However, for the most part, the face-to-face students are doing much, much better than my virtual students. It's easier for them to keep me, let me be accountable to helping them when they have immediate questions, and they are more engaged with the learning than it is for those that can hide behind a camera and turn an icon on and not be looking at me and asking for help when necessary.
Well, thank you, Shannon, for answering these questions. I think it's safe to say that these circumstances that COVID-19 has put the education system through have been unfortunate. But other than that, the teachers are still working efficiently to get these students to an academic success. It is still important to understand that these educators are working for their students. Thank you for listening.